the truth profoundly. These are Germans here. For me to the message clear. Go Paul, Das, and Paul. They say DUANE, so writer leads the way. Time to madness, it's blight. Gotta wake up, see the light.
So this dream actually happened last night, so it's still pretty fresh. This dream had started off with me just kind of laying what was somewhat like on a futon bed, but just the mattress itself, just laying on the ground. I was kind of in a corner of a room. It looked like just your general American house, just whitewashed walls, and kind of light, cheap carpet. And I found myself waking up. There's no windows. I really can't hear anything but a kind of a deep buzzing noise, almost as if there's fluorescent light bulbs everywhere. I'm looking around, and the room is lit, but I don't really visibly see any lights anywhere, which is odd. I see points where it looks like there could be points where the lights should be, with how light is shining off from certain locations, but there's actually no light there. It's unusual. And as I'm thinking to myself how unusual this situation is, I'm also starting to realize I don't know where I'm at or why I'm here. And as I look around the room, pondering that, I notice that there are no doors. At first, the room seemed only small, like 8 feet by 8 feet, or maybe 8 by 10 feet, a relatively small room. But as I'm looking further, it no longer seems that way. It now looks like the room's like a 20 foot by 20 foot. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm closer to the one wall. I turn around to the corner I've been laying in. At this point, I'm standing up on top of the futon, and I'm looking at the corner, the walls next to me. Then I look back out, and now the room has grown again. It's like a 40 foot by 40 foot room. And then for some reason, I turn back around and look at the wall again, and this time there's a picture frame on it. An old style wooden picture frame. Looks like it was handmade, carved, intricate patterns, these swirls, little creatures, some dragons, and some knights poking upwards at it as flame bellows from its mouth. Very well carved, definitely by hand and old, but there was no art or picture on the inside. Then I turn back around, and the room is no longer 40 by 40, but now the room is 80 by 80 feet. And then I turn back around and look at the corner. And the picture frame's there, and the dragon has now moved forward and standing atop the knights that were once poking and pushing it away. Its head reared back, flames spewing into the sky, with what looks like the sun in the background falling down along the horizon, and the last lights and flames sputtering out. Still, there is nothing in the frame. And I turn back around, and the room is like 100 feet by 100 feet. Then I turn back around and look at the wall. And the flames coming from the dragon's mouth is curling around, and this is when I realized the scene was occurring in the bottom section of the frame. And now the flames are bellowing up from side to side. And around the corner where the picture would be, where there is no more frame, but up around the 90-degree turn, the flames are bellowing upwards on either side, with smolders and smoke rising up. Then I'm starting to notice there isn't quite something there, but I'm noticing that there's almost as if there should be something in front of me inside the frame, like art. It looks like a blank canvas, but something is coming to in it, just hazed, very light, not even barely legible in the lighting of the room. And then I turn back around, and the room is now much larger, much, much larger. It's more like 200 feet by 200 feet. Considerably large at this point. So then I turn back around at the wall, the corner, and there's the picture frame. It has grown in size, not by much, probably 10%. And where the dragon once stood at the bottom, there was no more. There was a skull, mouth ajar, looking up at the sky. There are no signs of the knights that were once there before, but instead, the scene has been replaced by what looks like weeds, trees, thick brush, and wild animals fluttering about. And the smoke along the edges is no longer smoke and flames and fire, but a trail of outward growing forests and fresh, renewed lands. And as I glance on the inside, within the frame, I'm making out a picture even further. It is a large tree, almost as if it was a magical tree, a mana tree. I've seen that in a game once. That was all I could really compare it to. And the scene's kind of moving. It's not a static scene. It's almost as if it's a window into another world, another universe, or a dream. And then I turn back around, and the room is now thousands of feet by thousands of feet. So far, I can almost not see the other end from the whitewash of the unseen lights casting their rays down on us. And then I turn back around and look at the flames. The flames at the very top, the sides growing further up the frame, more vegetation growing, and what little flames were up and traveling up and around the top of the frame merged together into the center top. A sun with rays casting down onto the image. And with the lighting of the new sun within the frame, the picture is now clear. It is a massive tree. I get closer. I squint my eyes. And the tree almost comes to life, as if everything in is more real than where I'm at. I want to reach in and enter the world, and I reach my hands forward. My fingers go in as if there's depth, substance. I feel the warm air, high humidity, leaving a just very gentle warmth on my skin, and the warm sun rays from the newly born sun casting down on my skin. And before I know it, I hear a rumble. And I turn back around towards the room. The room is now endless. It is no longer the empty, whitewashed room. And the artificial lights, rather, the light coming from unseen light sources, is now the picture itself. The room has turned into the universe to which I was looking in on. And as I'm looking into the room, rather, the universe that I turned around into, which was the picture, the tree is in full bloom. It's almost as if it's a mother tree. And just vines and branches spanning as far out as I could see. When I say the tree is massive, it is like the size of New York, Manhattan itself, reaching far, far into the sky, so far you can't even see the top. And beside me, I feel a presence and look over my right shoulder. And there's this old man leaning out and looking upon the fresh, untouched virgin lands. And he points off in the direction of the tree to this one vine sprawling further out, different than the others, adorned by fruits. I'm unsure what fruits they are. The old man directs his gaze and points his finger out directly to the very end of the vine, as if he was saying the fruits before are older. They're not lost, they still follow. But he's pointing to the one at the end of the vine, as if that is the new youngest. And he nods and says, he is the seer. At the time, I don't really understand what he's saying. And I'm looking much closer. And he says, the one that knows it all. The one that can teach all. And as if I had the eyes of a hawk, my vision zoomed in. And there's this large, alien-looking fruit, kind of golden-clad, kind of shell on the outside, almost as if it was like chitin from an insect, but gold, bright and shining in the rays of the sun above, as if it was acting as the guiding light to find those who are lost and show them the truth. But as I get a closer look, it is more intricate than that, and there are cracks. What looks like fleshy bits on the inside, just kind of undulating, pulsing, oozing. The old man nods again. I see him out of the corner of my peripheral. He says, that is the one that will bloom. Watch, listen, and learn. I look closer, and there's obviously a head of some sort on top. It looks human. Another older man? I'm not entirely sure. But he's smiling. He has a beard, some longer hair. Looks like he might be graying. I'm not too sure. But I hear the old man next to me nodding his head, more rapidly saying yes. The time is coming. There is time to learn, but it will take time. Follow the one there. And I look closer and noticing the fruits growing. And this is if it was going through a rapid cycle of production from the tree. I notice that the roots, the vine, is pulsing towards the fruit on the end, undulating, almost like veins. And I see stretched areas within the vine, almost as if they're undulating and pulsing large amounts of nutrients and fluids into the fruit on the end. The man sticking out of the top begins looking up at the sun, mouth agaping, not in pain, but in happiness. Leadership was the sensation I got. The cracks in his golden shell begin to expand. The old man next to me says, the chrysalis. One day it will hatch. And I look closer, and it's expanding. More cracks are developing. And the purple, fleshy inside is starting to bulge out as if it's about to pop. It begins to ooze fluids. The old man next to me shaking his head even more. The fluid is the nutrients for the insights in mind. Drink, learn, evolve. And I'll look closer again, and the man fruit things becoming larger, and the fleshy bits on the inside are expanding and bulging out, so much so it's wrapping around the outside of the shell and oozing and dripping and oozing and dripping, pulsing and undulating more from its chitin shell on the outside, as if it's ready to burst. I wanted to reach out, but I did with my mind. But I could feel it. And it was very squishy. Dare I say, the fruit was nearing ripening. The ripening was near. It was heavy and large as it kept growing, and all I could think was, very big and round he is. The wisdom within will burst and leak. We will feast upon it. And then I woke up.
You crew, we gather round, real guides bring the truth profound. These are Germans here, follow me to the message clear. Go Paul, Das and Paul, they say DUANE, so writer leads the way. Time to madness, it's blight, gotta wake up, see the light. Don't think, just feel the vibe. The sun's are gonna cause it dry. Break the chains, the mental hold. Truth unfold, the storms are guide. A cosmic drive, break the chains, the mental hold. The truth unfold, the story told. We strong, now unite front. Against the darkness, we will hunt signs to break the simulation spell with new you power. We are skibbity new you, breaking free from the matrix. Dark forces lurking, reptilian scheme. That lies that control a twisted dream. You together, we rise above, shattering the lies, spreading risky. I knew you staring.